Hey guys, if we reach 1,000 likes, we'll be giving out 2 of our new shirts. All you gotta do is click like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. What a lovely Wednesday afternoon, morning, whenever you guys are watching this. I hope it's a lovely whatever. My name is Faith and Moliminous, and welcome to another MLP-based top 10 list. I know we've been doing a lot of anime, but don't think we've abandoned Pony. Don't think that we are not still all about that pon-pon, that poner. What's up, guys? Like I said, I'm Faith or Moliminous. Welcome to another top 10 list. This one is top 10 adult jokes in MLP. Look, for a fandom and a show that's mainly comprised of adults, you better believe that Hasbro has a couple of more adult jokes. Hey, even if the bronies weren't here, adults have to watch that show with their kids. They want a bone every now and again. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and count down the top 10 adult jokes in MLP. Keep in mind, this is just my list. You don't have to see all these things as adults, but I have a perverted mind and a mind that thinks on a different wave. Number 10. Rainbow Dash's flag tricks. For those of you guys who are like really old Moliminous fans, you guys have probably seen this very old, very obscure PMV, not even a PMV, just an edit that we did way back like maybe 2-3 years ago whenever this episode came out, when Rainbow Dash was demonstrating how she would wave the flag in the equestrian games to the class. This is during the whole be professional thing. That's when that meme got started. Anyways, the way she was talking about it didn't really just sound like a flag. In fact, I wasn't the only one to think that. And this one is so low on the list because it does kind of rely on the person watching already to be in that kind of mind state. But by simply blanking out the word flag, it made for some interesting little edits.
Guess who carried the Clydesdale in the games when she was a little filly? Me! I'll never forget it. I burst into the stadium, spreading my wings, the flapping in the breeze. I did tricks with that the likes of which no pony saw before, and no pony seen since.
Number 9. Going right back to lesbian car wash, the Parasite bra and panties that were formed on her during the Parasite episode. Now look, ponies normally don't wear clothes, but it was a little bit weird to see her be covered in Parasprite in a way that resembled bra and panties, especially since technically if she's a horse, that's not where her boobs would be. Nevertheless, this was kind of one that a lot of people in the fandom picked up on. And something about them just not wearing clothes at all makes this all the more sexualized. Number 8. Fluttershy's butt. Fluttershy is obviously a waifu pwn to a lot of people. She's shy, she's slightly taller than a lot of them, and for some reason artists love to draw her with a very big heart. And boobs. Do you guys remember the Pony Tunes episode? Where Fluttershy was too shy to be able to sing in front of a crowd and Big Mac lost his voice. So Fluttershy did something odd. She decided that she was going to knowingly infect herself with Poison Joke, turning her back into Flutter Guy. Why does the Poison Joke do the same effect on her twice, instead of doing its name and pulling a joke on her and making her voice even more feminine? Who knows, plot convenience. Regardless, she goes ahead and starts singing from all kinds of various locations, like in a pool of water, like underneath the stage, and in the bushes. And this is where this moment comes from. While she's in the bushes, she's getting into the rhythm, and she starts sticking her butt out and pretty much doing the pony equivalent of a twerk in front of Big Mac. Innocent enough, you know, despite the fact that if they had genitalia, that would be pretty explicit, but the added scene of Big Mac staring at it and sweating was kind of odd. Surely they would have pointed this out during the whole storyboarding process, but apparently DHX and Hasbro gave it 2 thumbs up. Up where? Well, I don't think I want to know. Number 7. Spiked Punch. So this was the ending to one of the episodes. Which episode? I couldn't be asked to tell you that. What, do you think I actually watched this show? No, all these videos are made by someone else. I'm not even actually recording this voice. I have my stunt double here. But at the end of this episode, Spike is all tuckered out from being everyone's punching bag and falls asleep in a bowl of punch. This leads Pinky to go ahead and say, "Hey, guys, look, the punch has been spiked," leading a couple of things to happen. 1, that means that's a common occurrence, enough to have a phrase. 2, that also means alcohol is in this world. I'm pretty sure this was probably censored in a lot of international releases of the episode, but at least in the States, where we're not pussies, this was said. One would have to wonder why they would put such an obvious adult joke in a kid's show. Maybe someone spiked the water cooler at Hasbro.
Oh, poor little thing.
Aw, he's worked himself to the bone.
And now the punch has been spiked!
Number 6. Zecora needs that booty. During the pet sitting episode where Spike decides that he's going to pet sit all of the main 6's pets in order to get a couple of gems for his special gem cake, he runs into Zecora, who he needs help from. But Zecora has a price, and that price is she needs a piece of that dragon booty. Obviously she meant the gems, but the way it was said, the writers obviously knew how it would be interpreted by those with a more adult mind. It's innocent enough for a lot of kids, as they would probably just think it was an innocent butt joke, or that it was really just referring to the treasure, as I'm sure kids play pirates. At least I still think they play pirates. I don't know what kids are into. Apparently fidget spinners are cool. Maybe that's what they thought she was talking about.
But before I can do my duty, I'm going to need some of your booty.
Number 5. Pinkie Pie's Birds and Bees Fooling Around. So this one isn't actually in the show, but it does have to do with the Hub and Pinkie Pie. It's an advertisement for the Hub's summer lineup, in which Pinkie Pie proceeds to sing about the birds and the bees and how she'll be fooling around with the kids. I'm not sure what kind of Mike Vogel stuff they're on, but I'm pretty sure they should have checked those lyrics. In fact, later on in the song, not said by her, but by one of the Transformers, they start talking about hot nuts. Wow. And this passed their boards. No one thought this would be interpreted weirdly. In fact, if you look at the comments to this video, there's a lot of people who point this out. Hasbro, I'm not sure what you're doing, but okay.
Are you ready for the birds and bees and apple trees and a whole lot of fooling around?
Are you ready for the summer? Are you ready for the hot nuts?
Number 4. Fluttershy holding them down against their will. So, this is kind of an innocent line. Most kids would take it as meaning literally what she says. But in this, Fluttershy utters, "Is it okay if I hold you down against your will?" To a lot of adults, that sounded a bit awkward. In fact, they probably did a double take, just to ensure that they actually heard what she said. For this to pass Hasbro, there had to have been some questions, like, is this really okay? Can we really say this? You don't think anyone would take this weirdly? I mean, they're both naked and she's asking to hold her down. The fact that more fan art wasn't drawn of this entire scenario is surprising. Or maybe my filters are just on.
I'm just wondering if it's okay if I hold you down against your will for a little bit?
Number 3. Twilight's limp horn. Going back to the poison joke, when they were first infected with it, there was a slew of different effects they gave everyone, such as Pinkie Pie's enormously large tongue, Fluttershy's deep voice, Applejack becoming Microjack, and Rarity becoming a rug. But the funniest of all was Twilight. She, I guess, developed erectile dysfunction in her horn, because that thing was flopping all over the place. I'm sure a lot of kids just thought it was funny because it's a weird image, but I'm sure a lot of adults out there, and of course, most people in the fandom, saw that as being resembling a male genitalia that's kind of limp. You gotta love Hasbro. Number 2, Fluttershy sleeps in the nude. So, in one of the cider episodes, when Rainbow Dash is so excited for the cider that she has to be there and first in line to ensure that she gets a drop, she wakes up Fluttershy by One, breaking into her house and then ripping the covers off of her. The weird part is when she blushes and covers herself up. Look, ponies are normally nude, but when they have a reaction like that, it's obviously supposed to be a joke about sleeping in nude. And it's a weird addition to have in the show. It's a harmless enough joke, but it is kind of strange for a Y7 show to address something like that, even if it was done subtly. There's been tons of fan art about this and tons of animations even, which I'm sure you are all familiar with, knowing my audience. Number 1. Applejack compares herself to a hooker. So there's a scene where Applejack is using her normal countryisms, you know, where she talks about being more slippery than like a oil-slicked snake or something. I'm not from the South, I can't do that. But anyways, that's kind of a staple of her. In fact, I believe she even makes a comment about how she can't make countryisms anymore. But when she gets back to being countrified, she goes ahead and starts talking about how she can buck like a 2-bit rattlesnake tamer. This one was pretty fast. In fact, I didn't even notice this at first. It's been years since this episode aired, and I'm just now realizing this. So I think a lot of you guys probably missed it too.
Yeehaw! Finally, I can buck like a 5-bit snake herder in an Appaloosa ranch house again.
Well, that's our list. Be sure to like this video if you enjoyed. Liking the videos kind of helps us out a lot. And be sure to subscribe too. We also have a Patreon, so make sure you do that, if you have the money. If you don't, you can always watch without ad block. That's a big deal for small channels like ours, especially when ad revenue is so low as it is. Let me know what your favorite moment was down in the comments. And let me know if you had some moments that weren't included on this list that should have been, at least according to you. I hope you guys enjoyed nonetheless, and I'll see you in the next one.
Woo!